Hello, my name is Detective Cameron Gustafson with the Coon Rapids Police Department.
And I'm Trish Heitman, also with the Coon Rapids Police Department. And we work with Safe Kids in Oka County as child passenger safety technicians, CPSTs. And we're here today with the Cosco Scenera Next convertible car seat. And we're going to demonstrate how to go ahead and reroute the harness and make the proper adjustments to be able to use the car seat in the lowest harness slot for newborns and smaller babies.
So when we get this is the seat how it looks directly out of the box. And as according to the manufacturer, what you need to do for those small babies or newborn babies is you have to kind of take some extra steps that maybe you didn't have to do before. So it can be confusing, so we'll kind of show you the steps on how to do it. So according to the owner's manual, the first thing is to kind of pull off the fabric so you can get better access to what you're working with. And so the first step is to move this crotch buckle that locks this in. It's too long, so we need to shorten it up. And according to the owner's manual, I'm going to give myself a little room here just by pushing on this button that would release the harness. And so what I need to do here, and I'll flip it over, is here's the crotch buckle in its lowest setting, but we still need to take out some of that slack. So we need to take this piece and stick it into the middle slot. So that way it it shortens that buckle. I'll turn it back over here to show you. So before we had like 2-3 inches of slack, now we don't have any. And if you were to look under the seat, you can just see that that buckle sits right in there.
And that's step one complete. So step two is just a little trickier. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to reroute where this harness is. So we're going to unthread this and we're going to work one side at a time, which is really important so those straps don't get tangled up.
So right now these shoulder straps need to be at or below a baby's shoulders. And obviously when it comes out of the box like this, it's kind of in the middle of all the holes that you can use this seat for. So as with most seats, you typically have to move these down anyway, but there's extra steps that this seat requires in order to take some of the slack out so that way you can secure the baby in there properly. So I'm going to turn it over. And like Trish was saying, I always do one side at a time so that way if you forget what you're doing or you're lost, you can kind of go back where you were and then start from the beginning. So this is just a little simple slide hook.
And so we're removing the belt from the splitter plate here, and the splitter plate is this little metal part that holds both the straps. And so you're going to have to just remove it one at a time to be able to unthread it through the slot here.
So I'm going to keep this one done. And now what I'm going to do is turn it back around. Pull this all the way out. And instead of just sticking it right in the lowest slot and going from there, we have to undo the chest retainer clip because we have to shorten the length of this entire strap. Then I'm going to remove it from the buckle. So it looks like this. This one's still attached, and this one goes straight into the bottom of the seat. So now what I need to do is I want to flip this over again, just pull this all the way out. So now to shorten it, what we need to do is you come to the side that's still in there, and you want to go, there's 2 slots, and you want to go between them. So I'm just feeding it in there. And with my other hand, I'm going where the baby's rear end would be. And I'm just pulling this same buckle or this strap through. Big thing is you want to make sure it's not twisted up at any point. I'm going to double check to make sure it's not twisted.
And you might not be able to see it right now, but on the other side, Cameron has his hand underneath where the fabric pad is. So that's why we take the fabric off the top, so then your hand is right underneath where that plastic is, not on top of the fabric. Because it'd be really tough to sit and try to thread it through if your hand is on the other side of the fabric.
So you can see here's the strap hanging out, and then we're still not done yet, but just so you can kind of see, the buckle is right here, here's the strap. So now turn it back over again. And now we're just going to put it through the original slot where it was. So we put it through the slot and also back through the fabric. So on the side here you can see there was the before shot, there it's back in, and now it's up through the seat and through the fabric. So it looks like just like how we started. Now we can move these straps down, but first we got to connect all the parts. Just feeding it back through. And now I'm going to go in the lowest setting for the newborn and small children. And now I'm going through the fabric, and more importantly, through the plastic of the seat. Because sometimes the fabric, and this is common with a lot of car seats, the fabric and the slots might not match up. So I'm going in through the lowest one. But first I should probably put the chest retainer clip in. So I undid it from in the fabric and the seat just to redo the chest retainer clip.
See, even the professionals struggle with it sometimes.
There's a lot of steps. So now I'm going to go through the fabric and through the seat, and I'll turn it over. And now it's just where we want to be. And now I'm just going to go hook it, slide it right back on, make sure it's clears these little contact points, so that way it's in there nice and solid. So as you can see, this buckle is freely flowing behind this strip here, because this is what you pull to tighten the harness, and so that's not going to interfere with it.
And when we started, this was kind of off to the side, so you want to make sure that this is right out of the way and right in the center, that this belt here is not over the top of this strap here.
And so now we need to get this other shoulder strap down because it's still in the original position, and this step's a lot faster and a lot easier. So just undo the side that you didn't touch first, just unslide it, and now we're just going to do through the fabric and through the seat. You don't have to mess with any of the other stuff down there. That's already done. So through the fabric. My other hand here is on the back to make sure that I am going into the right slot, because it's easier to feel sometimes than to see. Now I'm turning it back over. I'm just going to simply slide it back into place to lock it in. Test it to make sure it sticks and it clears that little piece.
And we're just going to go through and double check and make sure there's nothing twisted. We want to make sure nothing's twisted there and everything's flat through here, and that looks good. And we'll flip it over, we'll look at the other side, make sure nothing's twisted. And here, that looks good, and it looks good down here at the strap. So then when we go ahead and tighten it up from the bottom,
we could put the fabric back on. And then just, this is the strap that you pull to tighten it, and I just took it out of the spot for ease. You get this back in, and now it will get snug how it's supposed to for those newborn babies. So all we did was shorten everything up, because the strap is so long, because this seat works for children that get a little bit older as well. So this just takes some of that slack out by doing that extra routing step that the manufacturer recommends.
And then once your baby's bigger and you're adjusting it to make sure that, that the harness slot's in the right position, making sure always when rear facing that the strap here is at or below the shoulders, that you can go ahead and you can reroute it the regular way that it came, so then you have more slack for bigger infants and children. Because this seat can actually last up until kids are 3, even 4 years old.
So obviously that's a lot of steps with this. Always consult with your owner's manual for whatever car seat you have. Follow their instructions. Another way that you can do is, this is a free service that we offer for residents of Anoka County. The Anoka County Safe Kids Coalition is made up of first responders from all over the county. So go to our website at www.safekidsanoka.org, and it will show you the phone numbers and agencies that participate.
And if you're not local to us in Anoka County, you can go to the Safe Kids Worldwide, and there's a search feature where you can find a CPST just like us to be able to help you hands-on, one-on-one, in person, because we know this can be confusing, and we're here to help make sure that we keep kids safe.